What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne. Thank you for joining me in another video. Today we are here to take a look at this 2020 Buick Encore GX. This is not to be confused with the traditional Buick Encore. They are two completely different vehicles. It's not just a trim level difference, they are completely different vehicles. Now, Buick has been around for quite some time. They are a subsidiary of the General Motors Company, and they've been around since 1908. So that's over 100 years of history you're getting there. Now, Buick is considered a luxury brand in the GM lineup, but they are a luxury brand that falls under the flagship luxury brand of Cadillac. So it's Cadillac, Buick, and then everything else in the GM lineup. Now, 80% of Buick's vehicles are sold in China. So they have a huge market in China, but they're starting to market their cars over here in the US towards a younger audience as well with these sleek new designs. I don't know if you recall, but Buick 10 years ago, the design language was kind of stale and plain, but you're starting to see some of these stylish designs coming out now, especially with this vehicle that appeal towards a younger audience. So today, let's get into the exterior and interior details of this 2020 Buick Encore GX that has been finished in satin steel gray with a black leather interior, and see how this ride has been engineered for excellence. Looking at this Encore GX from the front, it really has a nice, sleek, stylish, and modern design that just brings this crossover to life from the front, which is something that typically nobody would have said 10 years ago about a Buick, but I really like the styling of this vehicle. Starting at the front fascia, you have this bolt line that goes into the hood and slowly goes into nothing. It fades away very slowly and gracefully. Underneath the hood, you have two power plant choices. You can either have a 1.2 liter four-cylinder, which puts out 137 horsepower and 162 pound-feet of torque, or your other engine option is a 1.3 liter four-cylinder turbo, putting out 155 horsepower and 174 pound-feet of torque. Now, this vehicle also features GM's IntelliBeam headlights. They switch on and off based on traffic conditions, and I just love the performance of these headlights. I really like vehicles that have more than adequate lighting, and this definitely does the job. Now, coming to the lower front section, you have this grille that features chrome, black, and then red accents that pop out at you. I really like the texture it gives the front of the vehicle. Really looks nice. And then coming lower, this vehicle is fitted with the front sport lower bumper with the red accents that coordinate with what you find in the grille. Really looks nice. Let's go ahead and check out the side profile. What I love about the side profile of this Encore GX is something that you might not notice until I point it out. You get body color wheel arches, body color molding, and body color side view mirrors. That really just adds to the overall design characteristic of the vehicle and the overall aesthetics. I can't stand when you see SUVs on the road and they have that flat black plastic on the wheel arches and the molding, which otherwise just takes away from what would have been a great design and makes the car look cheap. Now, this particular Encore GX features the 18-inch Android wheels with the gray inserts as well. Really looks nice and proportional with the overall size of the vehicle. Now, at the beginning of the review, I mentioned that the traditional Buick Encore and this Encore GX are two completely different vehicles. It's not just a trim level change. For instance, the Encore GX is about 1 inch wider at the front of the vehicle. Now, when it comes to the side profile, your length and wheelbase are completely different. For example, the length of the traditional Encore is about 168 inches. The length of this Encore GX, 175 inches. Now, when it comes to the wheelbase, the length of the traditional Encore, the wheelbase is about 100 inches. On the Encore GX, the wheelbase is 104 inches. So that's giving you a different ride setup. The ride quality is going to be completely different in this vehicle. For example, we know that the center of gravity is positively impacted when you lengthen the wheelbase on the vehicle. So the center of gravity on this car might be a little lower. And we also know that inertial forces are able to travel through the vehicle's center of gravity while the car is in motion. So if the center of gravity is lower on the car with a longer wheelbase, you're going to feel the impact of those inertial forces a lot less while the vehicle's in motion, giving you a smoother ride. And you also get the benefit of additional legroom in this vehicle. So the Encore and the Encore GX are two completely different vehicles. Now, at the top of this GX, we have the roof rack as well, and then you have tinted windows. Now, I want to go ahead and check out the rear and see what Buick has done as far as the design and storage capacity as well. The rear of the Encore GX features that same design language you saw up front, and the side profile as well, meaning that it's curvaceous and modern. It's a really attractive SUV. Now your brake lamps are fully LED, but my favorite feature about the rear is something you might not notice. There's a puddle lamp here that tells you exactly where to kick to open up the rear hatch. And it opens up just like that. Now, of course, you have plenty of storage, a storage shelf to hide your items that you have in the back here, and you can also lower down the second row seating. But the second row seating has to be lowered down from the second row. You can't lower it from the back here. Total storage capacity is about 50 cubic feet. So you're getting plenty of storage in this small crossover. Let's go ahead and lower it. Just like that, one touch, it comes down nice and slowly. Now, I also want to point out, you do have a backup camera here that displays the image in HD in your rear view mirror. That's pretty neat. You see that in a lot of GM vehicles. And there's also another camera here as well for your traditional backup camera, and also your 360-degree surround view cameras, which are displayed in your infotainment system. Now, coming lower, you do have the sport rear bumper. So we talked about quite a bit of the exterior design characteristics of this car. I think it's time to cover the interior. Let's see how this car feels on the street. Is it an SUV that could truly meet your daily needs? Let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so we're taking the 2020 Encore GX for a spin. You guys have seen the exterior. We talked about the exterior details. We're going to talk about how the car handles and the interior details. But Isha, first I want to get your thoughts on what you think about the overall exterior styling.
I love it.
You like it?
I really do. You guys know that I like the rounded shapes instead of like a boxy look, and this meets my standards. You know, I noticed the grille. I noticed some of the accents that were kind of like the two-tone. I really did like that. It kind of made the exterior accents pop out more. You know, gave it a little bit more detail.
So what was the design cue about the grille that you liked?
So it looked like vines to me, almost like, you know, leaves.
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah. Now that you say that, it does look a little bit like that. That's pretty cool.
And I was just like, oh, did you see this? Of course he did. But it's actually two-toned. It's like it's black and red.
Yep.
And I don't know what other colors they kind of do that in, or if that's the standard color.
It's a custom for this trim level.
Okay.
So yeah, they call it the custom grille.
It's really nice. I've never seen a custom grille like that before. So I thought that was really, really cool and kind of different.
Overall, it is a good looking SUV. I will admit, it looks modern. I mean, when I was in college, I lived in Florida, and you would see Buicks all the time. And it felt like there was never a person who was under 60 years old driving a Buick.
Buicks were big. They were old. They were, you know, a large vehicle, you know, like grandma, grandpa.
Yeah, like going to church type.
You know,
so
a Buick Regal. There you go.
Yeah, Buick Regal. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. If you're retired, you buy you a Buick Regal.
Yes.
But, you know, this is young. I mean, just...
Right. I was very excited. And to be honest with you, I feel like this... Now, is this considered a crossover or an SUV?
It's a crossover.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a crossover.
And I say that because I typically do not like crossovers. I typically just, hey, give me a car or give me an SUV. But this, I really, really like it.
You really like it.
I do. You know, it made me excited. You know, it's not too small and it's not too large. I like it. I feel like I'm in an SUV.
I know you said your mom might love this one, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, what about the overall ride quality? It seems fairly smooth.
Very smooth. You know, the noise, you know, I always look for the noise.
It's quiet.
It's quiet.
It's got noise cancellation.
Yes, very smooth. The handling seems very good around the curves. So I'm very pleased with this. It makes me a little bit happy inside.
So I do like the quiet ride. This guy's just taking his time crossing the street. I do like the quiet ride. This does have like noise cancellation to get you that quiet ride. So there's a lot of tech in here. And the seats, I think, are comfortable. They're fair. You could sit here for quite some time. They do feel a little narrow underneath me.
Yeah.
Right?
Just a little.
Feel a little bit narrow.
Not big. They fit me perfectly. So I'm not swimming, but it could be a little small.
Yeah, so you're smaller than the average person. You're saying it fits you perfectly.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like my legs are a little bit over the sides of the seat.
They are.
They are. So
But you're in a small crossover.
True.
You know,
True.
So I know they have different models that are larger. That would probably
Right.
fit you a little bit better.
Right. So if you're looking into this car, that might be something that you want to take consideration of. Definitely test drive these cars for yourselves before you pull the trigger on getting it.
Yeah, I honestly do not see a male driving this car.
Okay.
Someone of your stature, or even, you know what I mean? I don't see that. I see that this is for someone like me, or, you know, or what you would say younger.
Right.
You know, a
Right.
college student, something like. I'm just trying to give you guys a feel
Right.
of what this vehicle could go for. It is a good daily driver. It's not too rugged, anything like that. It kind of knocks off all the little pinpoints, all the. I mean, not saying that you can't drive it, because you can. And it's not going to make you uncomfortable. But I'm just thinking long term here.
Right.
You know, I don't necessarily see.
Got it. And you know, and the pricing, this is a reasonably affordable car. So it starts at around 28 grand as shown. It's about 34 grand. This car does have a lot of tech in it. It's got the head-up display. I showed you that. You were amazed by that. It's pretty cool.
I think that should be a standard option in all vehicles.
It needs to be standard in all vehicles, just for safety.
Right, just like how they're doing the rear view cameras and
Yep.
all standard in all vehicles.
And speaking of rear view camera, look at this high definition camera here and the mirror.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
I need that.
So that is by far my favorite feature of this car. I mean, the image is so crisp. If you remember the Genesis we reviewed a week before, the cameras in that car were nowhere near as close as the quality into this one.
This is amazing.
And that car was twice as much. So, and if you don't like that, you could just simply switch it off and it goes off like that. But
it's back to your standard.
I like having that wide angle view behind me at all times. I think that's pretty cool.
That's nice.
Yep. And then this car does have a 360-degree surround view system for your camera, so that helps you with parking. I love the 360-degree systems. I think that's a must-have in all vehicles. It even has the lane assist, lane keep assist, or, you know, it tracks where you are, lets you know if you're veering outside your lane. So it does have quite a bit of technology in it for its price point. This car does also have the sport package, so it's giving you the sport grille that we talked about when we looked at the front, the sport bumpers in the front and rear. So I think that it's been, you know, reasonably optioned. It's a fairly nice vehicle the way it's been optioned. Now, when it comes to the interior, you do have kind of like a soft touch rubber material here. It gets the job done, especially at this class of vehicle. That's just a, you know, purely decorative trim. It's not carbon fiber or anything, but it goes well with the overall interior flow.
But I think it's nice. I think in some of the previous cars that we have reviewed, or even some other makes and models of this kind of stature here, you're not getting this.
Right.
Some of the other things that we have seen looked quite cheap for this price point, for what you're getting, all the tech, you know?
Yep.
Like, I'm purely satisfied with what I'm optioned out with this.
Right.
I really am.
Right.
You know?
So you like the fact, first thing you said when you got in here was, does it have the butt warmers? You got the 3-level heated seating.
Right.
So that's there.
But I don't feel like I'm being gypped either.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
I don't, because this is leather.
You're getting the black leather, perforated leather seats.
I got some stitching here. It's nice.
It's a decent car.
You know, you got chrome. You know, and it's not like that plastic.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's not too much plastic, an overabundance of plastic.
Right.
I will say you do have the wireless charging here, the USB ports. So again, you're getting that tech. There's another USB port and storage here. I will say this does feel a little high, like where the armrest is to grab this. That's a little high.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be a miss on Buick's part, but you know, that is a little high. But you know, it might just be me. So the steering wheel, I got the heated steering wheel on. So touch the steering wheel, it's warm.
Oh, I need that.
So yeah, heated steering wheel. I love the tech in this car. You got the touchscreen display with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Super responsive, you know. And again, you could hook up that Apple CarPlay and it'll project what's on your phone onto the touchscreen display system. There's also a digital display between the two analog gauges behind the steering wheel. So you're getting pretty much everything you want. Now, what were your impressions on the rear seating? You sat back there for a little bit.
No, I think it's standard. It's nice. It's your standard bench seating, very comfortable. It feels the same as what you have up front. It's not, a lot of space.
But typical for this standard size of vehicle, right?
And we are in a crossover, guys, so it's not like a large, it's not large.
Right. And it did have some cup holders in the back.
Yeah.
I saw there. So that's pretty cool. Also, there are some USB
trunk,
ports there too.
Right. Even the trunk is a nice size. I don't recommend this for the mom with 2 kids, 3 kids. You're not going to fit yourself all that in there. So, but this, it gets the job done.
Overall, it does get the job done. Door panels do have this plastic material on here. You do have an aluminum door handle. Controls for all 4 windows and storage in all the door panels that you would expect. I do wish this particular spec did have a contrast on the door panels. There's a lot of black in here.
It is.
And I do wish that the sunroof option or moonroof option was standard on this vehicle.
I did look for that.
So that's like the first thing you notice.
Yeah.
One of the first things you noticed when you sat in here was that it did not have that feature.
Right.
So that's just something to consider if you're looking at this vehicle. But
I feel like, though, in certain vehicles, as this one, you have updated tech, but then there's some things that are missing.
Right.
Like you have this head-up display, but you don't have a sunroof.
Right.
It's certain things. It's like, and I'm pretty sure you can option it out with those things.
Yep.
Pretty sure if you want that, you can get that.
Yep.
This is just the model that we are driving.
Yeah, this is the model that we're driving. So overall, this is a nice starter SUV or crossover, whatever you guys want to call it. The price point, this is a reasonably priced vehicle. You guys asked me to review some reasonably priced cars. Here we are.
That's cool. It showed the people walking.
Yes, tons of tech. Yeah, I like that. So it shows pedestrians and everything. This car can even brake for you if it detects.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
soon it'll have like a built-in Waze, police up ahead,
right.
live animals. Remember that?
Right. So one thing to consider is, if you're looking at other vehicles in this price point, especially from the German manufacturers, to get some of these options, you're going to be paying more, right? So with all these options, this car is $34,000. To get that same, to get a vehicle that is of equal spec with all the tech, from Mercedes-Benz or BMW, you might be in the 40s or 50s. That's just something to consider. Each one has their pros and cons, but that's just something to look out for if you want to cross shop vehicles in this class. This is just overall
more affordable. You already know that even the upkeep is going to be more affordable. It is a nice ride. This was very nice.
Yep.
Very comfortable. The only thing that I would say is the seats are a little bit small, but I think that's because we're in this crossover this size.
True.
But I don't feel uncomfortable in it, though.
Yeah. Overall, it's a pretty good car. The only thing I can say about it that would be negative would be when I opened up the hood, you have to have a prop to hold the hood open. I think that Buick could have did better on that and just made it. In 2020, and this is kind of like a luxury brand. Don't want to hold up the hood with a prop.
Like the Buick Regal. We've come too far from
Right. But overall, I think Buick is definitely heading in the right direction with what people want to see, with what people want to drive.
I think this is great.
Because quite frankly, I never planned on having a Buick on this channel.
Right.
But
here we are.
Here we are, because the styling, I think,
good job,
just
Buick. I'm
way,
happy because I've seen some of the other ones like the Enclave, and they look really good, you know?
Yeah, they're stepping it up.
And I think a lot of people are actually surprised and shocked to see these on the road.
Yep.
I must admit. I'm dead serious. So this is something that I think you guys should kind of look into if you're looking for something good daily driver, smooth ride, affordable.
This is a great car. So that about wraps this one up. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please remember to hit that like button, share with friends, and definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. And until then, until the next video.
We'll catch you in the next one, because we are
the automotive reviewers that YouTube deserves.
That's right.
We'll catch you in the next one.